Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest battles in life is not fought with weapons, it is fought in the mind. Your thoughts shape your life. Your mind is the control center of your destiny, and whatever dominates your thoughts will eventually dominate your life. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you think. The problem is not always the environment or the circumstances. It is the thoughts you allow to take root in your mind. Your life today is the result of your thoughts yesterday, and your future will be determined by the thoughts you choose today. Everything in life begins with a thought. Every decision, every habit, every success, and every failure, it all starts in the mind. That is why the most dangerous thing in the world is not a gun, not a bomb, not even poverty. The most dangerous thing is a negative, undisciplined mind. A mind filled with doubt, fear, and worry will produce a life of defeat. But a mind filled with vision, faith, and discipline will produce a life of success. You must take control of your thoughts. Do not allow fear to govern your mind. Do not allow anxiety to dictate your future. Do not allow past failures to build strongholds in your thinking. You have been given authority over your mind. Thoughts may come, but you have the power to decide which ones stay. You must guard your mind like a soldier guards a city, because what enters your mind will determine the course of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's one thing you must understand about life, it is this: your thoughts shape your life. Everything you are experiencing today, whether good or bad, is the result of the thoughts you have allowed to take root in your mind. The way you think determines the way you live. Your thoughts control your decisions, your habits, your relationships, your attitude, and ultimately your destiny. Many people blame circumstances for where they are in life, but the truth is, circumstances do not have the final say. Your thoughts do. Two people can go through the same situation, but one comes out stronger while the other remains stuck. The difference is not what happened to them, but how they thought about it. Your mind is the control center of your life, and whatever dominates your thinking will eventually dominate your actions. You see, nothing in life happens by accident. Success is not a mistake, and failure is not a coincidence. Every outcome is first conceived in the mind. Before a person succeeds, they think like a successful person. Before a person fails, they entertain thoughts of failure. This is why the battle for your future is fought in your mind. If the enemy can control your thinking, he can control your life. But if you can take control of your thoughts, you can take control of your future. Look at the most successful people in the world. They did not just wake up one day and become great. They first had a mindset of greatness. They saw themselves achieving what others thought was impossible. They believed in possibilities, even when circumstances said otherwise. It was their thoughts that gave birth to their success. Likewise, look at those who remain trapped in mediocrity. Many of them are just as talented, just as gifted, and just as capable, but their thinking keeps them limited. Your thoughts create the atmosphere for your life. If your mind is full of doubt, your life will be full of uncertainty. If your thoughts are full of fear, your life will be full of hesitation. If your thinking is dominated by negativity, your life will be surrounded by obstacles. But if you fill your mind with faith, with vision, with discipline, your life will move in the direction of success. Have you ever noticed that people who always expect the worst usually get the worst? And people who expect good things to happen often experience them? That is because your mind is like a magnet. It attracts whatever is in it. If you constantly think about failure, you will act in a way that leads to failure. If you constantly think about success, you will develop habits that lead to success. This is why you must guard your thoughts. Do not allow just anything to enter your mind. Many people lose the battle before they even begin because they have already accepted defeat in their thinking. They say things like, "I'll never succeed. I'm not good enough. Or it's too late for me." And because they believe these lies, they live according to them. But today I want to challenge you. Change your thinking and you will change your life. Start thinking like the person you want to become. Stop focusing on what you cannot do and start focusing on what is possible. Stop looking at your limitations and start seeing your potential. Speak words of faith, not words of fear. Instead of saying, I can't, start declaring, I can do all things. Instead of saying, I'm not qualified, start saying, I have everything I need to succeed. Instead of saying, it's too hard, start saying, with God, all things are possible. Your future is too important to let negative thoughts control you. You have too much potential to waste it on small thinking. You are not created to live in fear, in doubt, in defeat. You are created to lead, to overcome, and to fulfill your purpose. But it all begins in your mind. Take control of your thoughts, and you will take control of your destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest battle you will ever fight is not against people, circumstances, or even the challenges of life. It is against the thoughts in your own mind. A negative, undisciplined mind is the greatest enemy of success. It is not the external struggles that hold us back. It is the internal ones. If your mind is filled with fear, doubt, and insecurity, it will be impossible to rise above the challenges that come your way. Everything in life begins in the mind. Before you take action, you first think about it. Before you make a decision, you process it in your thoughts. Your mind controls your life, and if your thinking is dominated by negativity, your actions will follow that same pattern. A person who constantly thinks about failure will always find reasons why they cannot succeed. A person who entertains fear will hesitate when opportunities come. A person who fills their mind with doubt will struggle to believe in their own potential. The mind is like soil. Whatever you plant in it will grow. If you plant seeds of fear, you will live in fear. If you plant seeds of negativity, your life will be surrounded by obstacles. But if you plant seeds of faith, discipline, and vision, your life will begin to move in the direction of success. The problem is that many people have allowed weeds to grow in their minds. Thoughts of insecurity, thoughts of failure, thoughts of defeat. These are like weeds that choke the potential out of a person's life. They prevent growth, limit progress, and keep people stuck in the same cycle year after year. An undisciplined mind is dangerous because it allows any thought to enter and take root. It welcomes fear, doubt, worry, and anxiety without resistance. Many people do not realize that their thoughts are controlling their lives. They assume that they are victims of circumstance, when in reality, they are prisoners of their own thinking. The reason some people never move forward is because they have already accepted defeat in their minds. The reason some people never try is because they have convinced themselves that failure is inevitable. But I want to tell you today that you have a choice. You do not have to be a prisoner of negative thinking. You do not have to allow fear to control your life. You do not have to let doubt dictate your future. You have the power to take control of your mind. You have the authority to decide what stays and what goes. Just because a thought enters your mind does not mean you have to accept it. You must learn to reject anything that does not align with where you are going in life. Think about it. If someone came to your house and tried to leave trash in your living room, would you allow it? No, you would tell them to take it somewhere else. Yet, many people allow negative thoughts to take residence in their minds without resistance. They allow words of fear, insecurity, and failure to settle in their thinking and take control. But today, I challenge you, guard your mind like you guard your home. Do not allow just anything to enter. If a thought does not build you, strengthen you, or push you toward your destiny, reject it. Your mind is too powerful to be left unchecked. Every great achievement in life begins with a disciplined mind. Champions do not think like ordinary people. They do not entertain fear when challenges arise. They do not allow doubt to stay in their thoughts. They train their minds for success. They speak words of faith, focus on solutions, and see possibilities where others see problems. That is the mindset of a winner. So what will you choose? Will you allow negativity to control your future? Will you let doubt rob you of your potential? Will you continue to entertain thoughts that limit your success? Or will you take control of your mind and align your thinking with the person you were created to be? The choice is yours. But remember this: if you do not master your mind will master you. And whatever masters you will determine your destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most powerful truths you must understand is that you have the power to control which thoughts stay in your mind. Thoughts will come, some positive, some negative, some filled with faith, others filled with fear, but you are the one who decides what remains. You cannot always stop a thought from entering your mind, but you can decide whether or not it takes root. Too many people live as if they are victims of their thoughts. They allow fear, doubt, and negativity to control their thinking without realizing that they have the authority to reject those thoughts. Your mind is like a door, and you are the gatekeeper. Just because a thought knocks does not mean you have to let it in. Just because worry tries to enter does not mean you have to accept it. You have the power to choose which thoughts you will meditate on, which thoughts you will believe, and which thoughts you will allow to shape your life. Everything you do in life is influenced by your thoughts. Before a person gives up, they first accept thoughts of failure. Before a person makes a bad decision, they first entertain wrong thoughts. Before a person succeeds, they first believe in the possibility of success. Your mind is the starting place of everything you experience. That is why you must be intentional about what you allow to remain in your thinking. Think about it like this: if you plant a bad seed in good soil, it will grow. The same is true with your mind. If you allow negative thoughts to remain, they will grow into negative emotions, negative decisions, and ultimately a negative life. If you constantly think, "I'm not good enough," you will start acting like someone who is not good enough. If you always dwell on fear, you will start making decisions based on fear. Your thoughts will eventually shape your actions, and your actions will shape your future. That is why it is so important to take control of what stays in your mind. You do not have to entertain every thought that comes. You do not have to believe everything you feel. Just because a thought enters does not mean it is true. You have the power to challenge it, to replace it, and to focus on what is right. If a thought does not align with your purpose, your vision, or the truth, do not let it stay. Many people do not realize how much control they actually have over their thoughts. They think that because a thought appears in their mind, they must accept it. But that is not true. You can reject fear. You can refuse to dwell on doubt. You can push out negativity. How? By replacing the wrong thoughts with the right ones. You cannot just tell a bad thought to leave. You must replace it with a greater thought. If fear says you will fail, you must replace it with, "I am more than a conqueror." If doubt says you're not capable, you must replace it with, "I can do all things." You must train your mind to focus on what builds you up, not what tears you down. Imagine if you lived every day filtering your thoughts, choosing only those that align with your destiny. Imagine if you rejected every thought that spoke against your potential and embraced only those that pushed you forward. Your entire life would change. You would walk with confidence, make better decisions, and live with greater peace. You would not be controlled by fear, worry, or insecurity, because your mind would be focused on what is true, what is right, and what leads to success. The greatest freedom you will ever experience is the freedom to choose what you think about. You do not have to live under the control of destructive thoughts. You do not have to accept every negative voice that enters your mind. You can take control. You can be intentional about what stays, and if you take control of your thoughts, you will take control of your life. Ladies and gentlemen, your words are a reflection of your thoughts. Whatever fills your mind will eventually come out of your mouth. Your words are not just sounds, they carry power. They shape your reality, determine your attitude, and influence your future. If you want to know where your life is headed, listen to the words you speak. because your words will always align with your thinking. Too many people speak words of defeat without even realizing it. They say things like, I'm not good enough. I'll never succeed. Or this is just the way life is. And then they wonder why nothing changes. The truth is their words are simply revealing what is already in their mind. A person who constantly speaks fear is a person who thinks fear. A person who always talks about their limitations is a person who constantly meditates on what they cannot do. Your speech is a direct reflection of your thoughts. And if your words are filled with negativity, it is a sign that your mind is as well. But here is the good news. You have the power to change your words. You have the power to shift the way you speak. And when you do, your life will begin to follow in the same direction. Instead of speaking fear, start speaking faith. Instead of declaring your limitations, start declaring your possibilities. Your words set the course for your life. And if you want to go in a new direction, you must start by changing the way you speak. Think about it. Every great leader, every successful individual, every champion has a pattern of speaking that aligns with their mindset. They do not waste time talking about why things will not work. They do not allow their mouths to speak words of defeat. They use their words to build their confidence, to set their focus, and to create the future they desire. That is the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck. One group speaks their vision into existence, while the other speaks their fears into reality. The mind and the mouth work together. If you want to take control of your thoughts, you must also take control of your words. You cannot fill your mind with faith while your mouth is constantly speaking doubt. You cannot think like a winner while speaking like a loser. Your words must align with your thoughts, and your thoughts must align with your vision. This is why you must be intentional about what comes out of your mouth. Some people wonder why they struggle with confidence, yet they spend their days saying things like, I'm not smart enough. I'll never get that opportunity. Or, life is too hard. What they do not realize is that their words are reinforcing their negative thinking. Every time they speak those words, they are strengthening the very thoughts that are holding them back. But when you change your words, you weaken those negative thoughts and replace them with something greater. If you want to shift your thinking, start with your speech. Begin declaring what you want to see instead of what you fear. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I have everything I need to succeed. Instead of saying, I'm not qualified, say, I am learning, growing, and getting better every day. Instead of saying, this situation is impossible, say, with God, all things are possible. The moment you align your words with faith, confidence, and vision, your thoughts will begin to follow. And when your thoughts change, the greatest mistake you can make is to allow your words to become careless. Do not speak what you do not want to see. Do not let frustration cause you to say things that go against your purpose. Use your words wisely. Speak words that uplift, words that build, words that reflect the future you desire. Because the truth is, your words are setting the direction of your life. And if you want to change where you are going, start by changing what you are saying. Ladies and gentlemen, your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant in it will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, that is exactly what your life will produce. But if you plant seeds of faith, wisdom, and discipline, you will reap a harvest of success, peace, and fulfillment. The problem is, many people do not realize that they are constantly planting seeds with their thoughts. Every thought you entertain is a seed, and every seed has the potential to produce a result in your life. Think about a farmer. A wise farmer does not just throw any kind of seed into the ground and hope for the best. He carefully chooses what he plants because he knows that whatever he sows, he will reap. The same is true for your mind. If you constantly allow negative, destructive thoughts to fill your thinking, you cannot expect to reap a life of peace and success. Many people wonder why they struggle with fear, insecurity, and doubt, but they never examine what they have been planting in their minds. Your thoughts determine the quality of your life. If your mind is filled with thoughts of failure, you will live cautiously, always afraid to take risks. If your thoughts are filled with anger and bitterness, you will see the world through the lens of offense. If your thoughts are full of self-doubt, you will hesitate every time an opportunity comes your way. But if you fill your mind with confidence, purpose, and faith, you will begin to make decisions that align with success. You cannot plant seeds of fear and expect a harvest of courage. You cannot plant seeds of laziness and expect a harvest of success. You cannot plant seeds of doubt and expect to walk in faith. What you plant in your mind will always determine what you produce in your life. That is why it is so important to be intentional about the thoughts you allow to stay. Many people do not guard their minds, and as a result, they allow anything to grow. Just like weeds can take over a garden if left unchecked, negative thoughts can take over your mind if you are not careful. And if you allow the wrong seeds to grow for too long, they become strongholds. Ways of thinking that control your decisions, your emotions, and your entire life. That is why you must make a decision to plant the right seeds. You must choose to fill your mind with thoughts that build you up, not tear you down. This requires discipline. You cannot wait for good thoughts to come naturally. You must intentionally plant them. How? By focusing on what is true, what is good, what is excellent. By meditating on thoughts of faith, hope, and purpose, by rejecting anything that does not align with your destiny. If you want to see change in your life, you must first change what you are planting in your mind. Start filling your thoughts with what aligns with your vision. Instead of feeding fear, feed your faith. Instead of meditating on problems, focus on solutions. Instead of repeating past failures, remind yourself of future possibilities. The more you plant good seeds, the more your mind will begin to align with the life you were created to live. No farmer expects a harvest overnight. It takes time. But if you keep planting the right seeds, you will eventually see the results. Likewise, transforming your mind is a process. You may not see immediate change, but if you remain consistent, your thoughts will begin to shift. Your decisions will begin to improve, and your life will begin to reflect the seeds you have planted. So today I challenge you, take responsibility for the seeds in your mind. Be intentional about what you allow to grow. Do not let weeds take over your thinking. Plant what will produce the future you desire, because whatever you plant, you will surely reap. Ladies and gentlemen, your mind is your greatest asset, but it is also the battlefield where the greatest wars are fought. Every day, thoughts are trying to enter, thoughts of doubt, thoughts of fear, thoughts of insecurity, thoughts of faith, thoughts of hope, thoughts of purpose. But just like a soldier guards a city, you must guard your thoughts with the same level of seriousness. If you leave your mind unprotected, the wrong ideas, beliefs, and influences will take root, and before you know it, they will shape your actions, your attitude, and ultimately your destiny. Imagine a city without walls, open to any invader. That city would be vulnerable, defenseless, and easily conquered. That is what happens when a person does not guard their mind. They allow any thought to enter, any opinion to settle, and any negative idea to take control. They let fear dictate their decisions. They let doubt weaken their confidence. They let past failures keep them from future success. But when you guard your mind, you become the gatekeeper of your destiny. You do not allow just anything to take root. You decide what stays and what must go. One of the greatest mistakes people make is assuming that every thought that enters their mind is their own. The truth is, not every thought belongs to you. Some thoughts are placed there by external influences. What you hear, what you see, what people say. Some thoughts are old habits trying to resurface. Some thoughts are fears trying to hold you back. And if you are not careful, you will adopt these thoughts as your own and allow them to shape your decisions. That is why you must be alert. Just as a soldier watches for enemies approaching the city, you must watch for thoughts that try to sneak into your mind. When a thought of doubt arises, challenge it. When a thought of fear appears, reject it. When a thought of insecurity tries to settle, replace it with truth. You do not have to accept every thought that comes. You have the authority to choose what remains. Many people struggle in life, not because they are not capable, not because they lack talent, but because they have allowed the wrong thoughts to rule them. They have accepted fear as normal. They have let discouragement become their default mindset. They have permitted negative words from others to shape their self-image, and as a result, they are living far below their potential. But today I want to remind you, just because a thought comes does not mean it has to stay. You have the power to guard your mind, to filter what you allow in, and to reject anything that does not align with your destiny. Think about it. If someone tried to break into your home, you would not stand by and let them walk in freely. You would fight to protect what is yours. Your mind should be no different. You must fight for it. You must defend it. You must be intentional about what you allow to stay. If a thought does not build you up, push it out. If a thought does not align with who you are called to be, refuse to entertain it. If a thought weakens your faith, replace it with a greater truth. How do you guard your mind? First, by being mindful of what you feed it. What you watch, what you listen to, and who you surround yourself with all play a role in shaping your thoughts. If you constantly consume negativity, it will be difficult to maintain a positive mindset. If you surround yourself with people who speak fear and doubt, their words will influence your thinking. But if you fill your mind with wisdom, faith, and truth, you will build a strong defense against anything that tries to pull you down. Second, you guard your mind by training it. Just as a soldier is trained to recognize threats, you must train yourself to recognize negative thoughts before they take root. Do not wait until fear has already taken control. Do not wait until doubt has already paralyzed you. The moment a thought enters that does not serve your purpose, take action. Replace it with a greater thought. Speak words of faith. Focus on what is true. The more you practice this, the stronger your mind will become. And finally, guard your mind by being intentional about your focus. A soldier does not waste time looking in every direction. He keeps his eyes on the mission. If you want to protect your mind, stay focused on where you're going. Do not let distractions pull you off course. Do not let past failures define your future. Do not let temporary setbacks shake your confidence. Keep your mind locked in on the vision, the purpose, the goals you have set. Because at the end of the day, whatever controls your mind will control your life. And if you do not guard your thoughts, they will determine your future. So be intentional, be disciplined, be watchful. Because the one who controls their mind controls their destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, the journey to mastering your thoughts is not a one-time event. It is a continuous process. Every day, you must be intentional about how you think, what you allow to influence you, and how you respond to the challenges that come your way. The transformation of your mind does not happen overnight. But with discipline and consistency, you can reshape the way you think, which will ultimately reshape the way you live. Many people start strong in this process, but they do not remain consistent. They decide to be positive for a day, to guard their thoughts for a week, or to reject negativity for a short season. But when challenges arise, they return to their old way of thinking. The problem is not that they lack the ability to change, it is that they lack the consistency to sustain the change. The mind, just like the body, must be trained every day. You cannot exercise once and expect to be fit for life. In the same way, you cannot discipline your mind once and expect lasting transformation. It requires daily commitment, intentional effort, and an unwavering decision to think in alignment with your purpose. Every day, your thoughts are shaping your destiny. What you meditate on today will influence the choices you make tomorrow. If you entertain negative thinking today, do not be surprised when it produces negative results later. If you allow doubt to remain in your mind now, it will affect the way you respond to opportunities in the future. That is why you must be consistent. The process of renewing your mind is not something you do when you feel like it. It is something you commit to for life. Think about an athlete training for a championship. He does not train only when he's in the mood. He does not discipline his body just for a week and then stop. He remains committed to the process, even when it is difficult. Why? Because he understands that consistency is the key to victory. The same principle applies to your thoughts. If you want to win the battle of the mind, you must train yourself daily. You must wake up every morning and decide, today, I will reject fear. Today, I will align my thoughts with my vision. It is a decision you must make every single day. Some people give up on the process because they do not see immediate results. They expect their thinking to change overnight, and when it does not, they assume it is impossible. But just like a seed takes time to grow, your thoughts take time to transform. The key is to remain consistent. Even when you do not see the change immediately, keep planting the right thoughts. Even when negativity tries to creep back in, keep resisting it. Even when you feel discouraged, keep speaking words of faith. Because the truth is, if you stay consistent, you will see the results. One of the greatest dangers in life is to start strong but not finish well. Many people begin with passion, but they do not have the endurance to sustain it. They allow distractions, setbacks, or temporary emotions to pull them off course. But you must make up your mind that no matter what happens, you will remain committed to guarding your thoughts, strengthening your mind, and staying focused on your vision. How do you stay consistent? First, by setting a daily standard for your thinking. Make it a habit to filter your thoughts every day. Do not wait until negativity has already taken over. Be proactive. Speak words of faith over yourself every morning. Remind yourself of your purpose. Consciously reject any thoughts that does not align with your destiny. Make this a daily discipline, and over time it will become second nature. Second, surround yourself with the right influences. If you are constantly around negative people, it will be difficult to maintain a positive mindset. If you constantly feed your mind with fear, doubt, and discouragement, your thoughts will reflect that. Be intentional about what you listen to, what you read, and who you associate with. Choose influences that strengthen your mind, not weaken it. And finally, remain patient with the process. Transformation does not happen instantly, but it happens progressively. Every time you reject a negative thought, you are getting stronger. Every time you choose faith over fear, you are moving forward. Every time you discipline your thinking, you are shaping your future. Because in the end, your success will not be determined by what you do occasionally. It will be determined by what you do consistently. So stay committed, stay disciplined, and keep renewing your mind every single day. Because the one who controls their mind consistently is the one who will shape their destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, everything we have discussed comes down to one truth. Your thoughts shape your life. The way you think determines the way you act, the way you speak, and ultimately the future you create. If you do not take control of your thoughts, they will take control of you. But if you become intentional about what you allow in your mind, if you guard your thinking, if you remain consistent in renewing your mind, you will walk in confidence, make better decisions, and fulfill the purpose for which you were created. The battle for your mind is ongoing, but you are not powerless. You have the ability to choose what stays and what goes. You have the authority to reject fear, silence doubt, and replace negativity with faith. You have the power to train your mind, discipline your thoughts, and align your thinking with your destiny. So as you step forward from today, make a decision to take control of your thoughts. Do not let life, circumstances, or negativity dictate the way you think. Choose to think in alignment with your purpose. Choose to fill your mind with what builds you up. Choose to stay consistent in this journey of mental transformation. Because if you can master your thoughts, you can master your life. I believe in you. Your best days are ahead. Stay strong, stay focused, and never stop growing. Good luck on your journey, and thank you.